Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach Double honors to the elders and to the apostles of the millstone, and in every respect to the brothers out there pushing and spreading the gospel of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai to the four corners of the world. Now, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, I just want to do a lesson on this article that I think is really interesting. It's entitled The Road Ahead, Rethinking the Transatlantic Partnership. And this is concerning Europe, figuring out, or at least not really sure or confident in their future when it comes to their partnership or the dynamic of their relationship with America. And so there's a lot of things to consider, but mainly being Trump being in office, and he's very wild in the things that he do with his power, right? How he, in a blink of an eye, he will put sanctions or tariff on things, Europe is seeing these things, and they're thinking that this guy can actually be a problem for us in the future. He has no problem starting war on any scale, and he has no problem declaring America first always. He declaring his America first agenda, even at the expense of its allies. So we're going to get into this article, and you're going to understand how concerned, the Europe is. But before we get into this article, we're going to bring out the prophecy concerning this very event, right? It concerns what's going to happen to America and how America's own allies would burn her with nuclear missiles. And so the account of that, it's in the book of Revelation, chapter 17, starting from verse 1. It says, "And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, and I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, a red dragon, anyhow you want to cut it, but a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns." And this is going to be important. It says, "And a woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was written Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushai. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel?" Right? And this is sometimes how we feel, Esau will do all these wickedness, and we will wonder, but I'll look right back around with the breakdown. So it says, "I will tell thee the mystery of the woman." So he's going to reveal unto us who the woman is, right? Which is why I just kind of kept reading. Once the angel breaks it down, everything will fall into place afterwards. So it says, "I will show thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her." So in also he's also going to break down the beast, which had the 7 heads and the 10 horns. "The beast that thou sawest was, and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and shall go into perdition." So the beast, pursuant to the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter, represents kingdoms. And this particular beast, the angel is telling the Apostle John that the beast currently was, right? And it's not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and shall go into perdition. As a matter of fact, it's worded a little bit better. Let me see. Right, okay. Same. I'm just going to read it exactly how it is. So, in the time of John, when John was living, that beast definitely was alive. It already existed, right? But it says it's not. In other words, it's not the last beast that's supposed to be destroyed. before it goes into the bottomless pit and we see the victory of the Lamb, it has to go into a bottomless pit. It has to die down. And then it shall ascend out of the bottomless pit. And then it'll go into perdition. The word perdition means destruction. And they that dwell upon the world shall wonder when they see the destruction, right? Whose names were now written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, and when they behold the beast that was, right, in the time that John received the prophecy, the beast was, it already existed, but it's not, and yet is. But in time, it'll come to be. It's yet to be. Okay, so you're gonna have people who are not delivered up into the chariot wonder at the destruction of Babylon, right? And so it says, here is the mind which has wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains. In other words, 7 government bodies or kingdoms, or a nation on which the woman sitteth. So it says, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is yet to come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And so the beast, it says that it has 7 heads, right? And seven mountains, and these are 7 kings, so 7 kingdoms. And the 5 are fallen, and the 5 that were fallen when the beast was Greece, Germania Major, Germania Minor, the Gauls, Spain, and I think yes, these are the 5 that are fallen, because with the conquering of these territories, Rome established itself an empire. That was when Rome was established as an empire. And Rome is, right? Because Rome is the one that's part of the 7, but it's not fallen. It's one of these Edomite nations that have not fallen. So it is, and the other is not yet come. So that's Britannia, right? And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. Verse 11 says, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7th. So the 7th that is not yet come, the other that is not yet come is America. But the scripture is saying that America comes of the 8th beast. America is the 8th beast, but it comes of the 7th, right? So 5 are fallen, 1 is, there's 1 left, which is of the 7th, right? Which is to add up to 7. And so that will be Britannia, because America comes from America was established by settlers from England. And those are the ones who eventually revitalizes the image of the beast. So it says, and the beast was and is not. And even he, the same beast that was as Rome, is the 8th beast, because it's going to be, when it comes out of the bottomless pit, it'll be in the form of America before it goes into destruction. Okay, I feel like I'm being long-winded with this, but I really hope this is the best that I'm trying to explain it to it right now. So if it doesn't make sense, just try to rewind and have everything fit into place. So it says, the beast that was Rome, it's not the beast that's supposed to be destroyed yet, or it's not the beast that fulfills, how do I put it, that fulfills its lot of being destroyed. But it says, even he, that same Rome, is of the 8th, which is America. So it says America comes off the 7th. And so when you look at the map of the Roman Empire, you have Britannia right there, right here. And so that is the part of the empire that was not yet, okay? Let's get it. So America will come out of the 7, Britannia, and it'll be the 8th beast, and then it'll go into perdition. But it's what it is the same beast that was, which is Rome. All right. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are kings, which have received no kingdoms yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. And the reason it's saying they have not received kingdoms yet is because during the ancient Roman Empire, There were the seven kingdoms that erupted from the downfall of the Eastern Roman Empire. Were only came to pass once the Roman Empire fell down. That's why it says that since the beast is, the 10 kings have not received kingdoms yet. But when you go into history, once the Roman Empire fell, these 10 kingdoms were established. But it says, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. It says, these have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. So when when Rome is reincarnated as America, this same power structure that we see in would also be reincarnated. All right, and so that's why you oftentimes hear brothers refer to the 7 heads and 10 horns as NATO and EU. And that's because these same nations, um, Germania Major, Germania Minor, the Gauls, Britannia, Spain, um, Rome, right, the Italian peninsula, um, um, Greece. These Edomites were the same people, wherever were the same people that later on, when the Lord raised them up, they set up these many different countries that you see in Europe and in Northern America. All right, and so um, this same power structure has been erupted. That's why we would say America and NATO and EU. Okay, and so the scripture says that the woman that sitteth is Babylon. So the beast represents the other nations, and America and Babylon will be, and the woman will represent America, which rules over these other nations. They say they're allies. They say that they are, on equal footings, but really America is what calls the shots, and America is the one who sends its garrisons, its um, military bases all over the world, and America that dictates who the European nations should trade with, who the European nations should put an embargo on. I mean, what's it called? The sanctions on. It's all America. America sits on top of the beast, right? So um, now, when you jump down, it's like um, let me see. Right. So continue on verse 14 says, these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. So when Yahweh shall come, Rome reincarnated as America. America will try to make war. America and the nations that are joined onto, well, not really, not America. At that point, America will be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles, because that's the fate of America. But you will have the chariots also shooting missiles upon America. We don't really know the specific details of it, but it says, these shall make war with the Lamb, Yahweh Shai, and the Lamb shall overcome them. Yahweh Shai will put them to death. He will conquer them by killing a lot of them, for he is the Lord of lords and the King of kings, and they that are with him are called chosen and faithful, right? Those that are joined unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples, multitudes, tongues, nations, and tongues. So the beast, or the woman sits upon the beast, and the beast on the waters. America rules the world. That's pretty much what it's trying to say. America tries to say that it is just it values democracy, and it wants nations to be autonomous, and it doesn't like to encroach upon other nations' businesses. That's a lie. The scripture says they rule upon the world. Okay, they lie. They do all their ruling in deceit, and sometimes they are blatant with it, like Trump, right? So it says, for God has put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast, unto the words of God be fulfilled. So the Lord has given power so that this guy, so America and the nations that are joined unto America should do his will. They'll rule, and they will be wicked, just so they can just so that Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai would be justified in destroying it with fire. It says, and a woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. So what great city or country, right? Because the city isn't just a city, but a country, right? And so what the very fact that we are citizens of America, the word citizen means someone who dwells in a city. So what country in the world reigns over all the kings of the earth? What is the most powerful nations upon the world? It is America. So with that being said, it says, um, the 10 horns, the beast, which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. The nation shall hate America, and will make her desolate and naked. How do you make a country desolate? You kill everybody, and you turn it into ruins. And so they shall do that with the missiles. That's why it says they shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. All right. So let's look at the. Let's see if there's this article at least hints at the possibility of that future. We know it's definitely going to happen, but for those that are on edge, um, and just so we can do our job in contending for the truth and explaining and proving the validity of the prophetic scriptures, we're going to bring these things out and show you how possible or how certain this event is in the future. And so it says recent elections in the EU and the United States are poised to reshape political dynamics and redefine key areas of cooperation. For the EU, the United States election outcome is a stark reminder of the need to redouble efforts to boost European competitiveness and achieve strategic autonomy, as the incoming Trump administration is amplifying themes of U.S. protectionism and its signature America First agenda. So they're seeing that America doesn't really care about them. America cares about America at the expense of Europe. It says at the same time, the EU-US relationships remains an unparalleled economic partnerships between the world's two largest democratic systems, and preserving it remains critical. But a time is going to come where once the Lord has them fulfill their purpose, money won't be a factor anymore. They won't give a shit about money anymore. And then they're going to betray America. All right? Or maybe America's going to betray them and they will burn America for it. Who knows? So it says this analysis is structured in two sections addressing Europe's strategic challenges. The first examines the EU bilateral relationships, focusing on shared interests and potential friction points. The second explores the EU's position amid escalating U.S.-China tensions, because the tensions are so high, and Europe ain't trying to partake in that. They got enough shit to worry about to be caught up in a crossfire between America and China. It says emphasizing its need to balance transatlantic ties with economic and geopolitical realities. Together, these sanctions illuminate how global tensions, economic interdependence, and technological competition are reshaping transatlantic relationship. All right, so before we get into it, I feel like this video is already a little bit too long. So let's just go into the summary. Now, I had AI summarize these things. I just copied and pasted it. I had AI, act as a literary teacher, and I just had him re-summarize it and give me the key points. So it says this passage analyzes the potential impact of a Trump's presidency on a transatlantic relationship. Key concerns. The primary concern is that Trump's America First approach will erode cooperation in key areas such as defense, climate change, and technology. All right, those are the key concerns of Europe. It says defense, the Trump's potential to weaken NATO, prioritize U.S. interests, and undermine European defense initiative is a significant worry, because he talks a lot of shit about Europe's capability to contribute to NATO, and EU's partnership. He talks a lot of shit about them, so they're a bit worried about that, and they are worried that eventually some shit might pop off where they may need America to step in, but America will be like, you've never pulled your weight, so we're not gonna be in it. Or Europe is gonna anticipate being in a position of Ukraine, where you think someone is backing you up, but then no one ends up coming to your rescue. It says climate change. His potential withdrawal from climate agreement and focus on fossil fuels threatens to derail progress in this area. Increased friction in tech trade and regulations, particularly regarding AI and digital services, is anticipated. All right. So it says when it comes to trade, tensions are likely to worsen due to Trump's protectionist policies and potential tariffs. This man is he's a wild card, you know. And so this is the first point, first section of the article. Let me see. This is the first section of the article that had been summarized. And so when I move on to the next one, this is what AI has to say about it. And again, I read through the article. This all makes sense. Everything that the AI is saying, I agree with. That's the same sense that I'm getting from it. I just didn't want this video to be too long. Let's get to the point, but let's flush out every possible information we can from this article. So the next section, when I posted it, you want to give me that bullshit on I can't help with responses on elections, and I just said I just need you to summarize it. So he goes on and summarize it, and he says weakened NATO. Trump's potential to undermine NATO and prioritize U.S. interests could strain the alliance. And the next point is strained climate cooperation. His potential withdrawal from climate agreements and focus on fossil fuel could hinder global efforts. Right, so like this is the different one. That's why I had him summarize a different text. All right, this was the second section. It says U.S.-China rivalry impact on EU. Since the rivalry has a global implication, impacting trade, security, and climate policies, forcing the EU to navigate a complex geopolitical landscape. Trump's potential return could further strain the U.S.-EU relationships, diverting U.S. attention from European security concerns and potentially awaken NATO's eastern flank. When it comes to climate change policies, it says the EU must balance its climate commitments with its relationship with both China and the United States, given their differing approach to climate action. This apparently is a very serious topic, and how one nation views it could determine how things move forward from there. It says Trump's potential return could lead to a more confrontational U.S. trade policy towards China, impacting the EU through trade diversions and increased pressure to adopt a harsher stance towards China. This is something that EU doesn't want to do. Its economy is already bad. All right. It says the need for strategic autonomy. The EU must develop its own independent strategies in areas like defense, technology, and trade to navigate these challenges and protect its interests. And who knows who they're gonna turn to try to achieve this agenda? Maybe Russia. Stay tuned. But hey, we gotta be thankful that Yahweh Hashem Yashai has made things like crystal clear. Like we know exactly where things are heading. Let me see right now. See. I believe it's in the 3rd chapter. I'm trying to look for a precept that I'm thinking of. Let's see. Um, I believe the Wisdom of Solomon. Yeah, I can't find it right now. Yeah, but it talks about how, because of the wisdom and knowledge that Yahweh Bashim Shai has given us, the secrets and the courses of the world are made manifest unto us, which is why we see news like this, and we're not, how do I put it? We're not agitated. We only anticipate the coming of Yahweh Shai, so that we may be delivered. But these nations, they see news like this, and they start figuring out what to do. They start buying passports and moving around the world. Um, but that's not going to protect them from, the things that Yahweh Shai has promised to repay the wicked with. It doesn't matter where you go, you will still receive the judgment. And, the panic comes from ignorance. And the only thing that will bring you peace is the knowledge of Yahweh Shai. And I just want to say we should be grateful for that. It's not everybody in the world who knows the breakdown of Revelations, who knows what Russia's going to do in the future, and have comfort, or is completely certain about the future. Not everyone has that gift. So let us give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, for the blessing that He has given us, and the Wadi Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, for the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit. So with that, I'm going to end right there and say Shalom, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Brakatham, Toya Akim Sanakwev, that are up there pushing and spreading the truth of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai to the four corners of the world. May the blessing of blessing be upon the house, and may the Lord speedily deliver us and send swift judgment upon this place. Shalom.